The Promenade of Portals stretched before them, shimmering in monsoon-bright colors and thick with the scent of brine and enchanted curry leaves. SlumG, his maroon tunic flapping like a mage's robe, straw hat parked precariously atop wild curls, stood at the liminal edge where emerald potted palms marked the threshold between Mundania and elsewhere. "Behold!" cried Jean-Baptiste, the encourager of portals, gesturing at the rocky coastline with a staff shaped suspiciously like an overgrown selfie stick. "There lies the gateway of Kajivor, guarded by the watchful lighthouse, rumored to blink thrice at dusk and summon the Barking Oracle." Vashan Ketchum, spirit scout and part-time burrito visionary, bounded up with a satchel of taco scrolls. "Bro, these waves look ready to gnaw my slippers. Think the Oracle likes bean filling?" he quipped, tossing a coin into the churning surf as a test of luck. Henricus the Heartmender, ever the optimist, offered SlumG a cup of mystic chai brewed from local legends. "This brew will steady your soul for the first riddle. Who is Sonny Leon?" As the wind rustled banners from the Grill House Tavern, and the coconut trees whispered prophecies about proper sunscreen application, SlumG squared his shoulders. "If the portal opens at the lighthouse, we'll need wisdom, snacks, and enough rupees to bribe at least 2 goblin guides," he declared, secretly hoping the Barking Oracle would accept dog biscuits instead. Above, gulls circled like airborne question marks, and the promenade stones glowed faintly, ready to usher the party into a world where every step was a wager, every chat a spell, and every afternoon held the promise of portals and improbable quests. As the party crested the mist-laced hill, the liminal mists parted to reveal the Titan of Kajivor, Lord Shivavatar, carved from stormstone and veined with living moss, seated in eternal meditation atop a lotus of swirling clouds. The trident shimmered with trapped lightning. A spectral serpent blinked lazily around his neck, and his locks spilled like monsoon rivers, birthing tiny sculpted pilgrims who seemed to quarrel among themselves about the best path to enlightenment, or at least to the snack shop. Henricus the Heartmender gazed upward, awe softening his ever-cheerful grin. "Magnificent," he whispered. "I feel my spirit recalibrating just looking at him. Should I offer him my last bandage or my emergency biscuit?" Jean-Baptiste, never one to let a portal moment pass unselfied, brandished his enchanted selfie stick staff and muttered a quick spell for enhanced angles. "Oh, great Shivavatar," Jean intoned, voice echoing off the solemn silence. "Grant us safe passage to the Barking Oracle, and perhaps a group photo if you're not busy dissolving reality." From the clouds above, thunder rumbled and the statue's eyes flickered with blue fire. The trident struck the earth, revealing a shimmering toll booth where a goblin attendant yawned. 3,000 rupees for viewing, but enlightenment's on discount. Today only. As the companions fished through their collective pockets for enchanted coins, the sky brightened imperceptibly, hinting that the first trial of the promenade had begun, not with a battle, but with the world's grandest entry fee and a test of who could pose most reverently for the cosmic camera. The party pressed deeper into the Temple of Patterns, where the very walls themselves pulsed with magic. Each brushstroke of the mural a living glyph, each jewel on the painted deity a twinkling eye that seemed to wink in time with the distant thunder. Jean-Baptiste tiptoed forward, bowing low and whispering, "Behold, fellow seekers, the mural of boundless blessings, the legendary gateway to the oracle's next clue. Only by deciphering its colors may we pass, without triggering the festival of infinite pigeons. Vashon Ketchum, ever the cheerful spirit scout, traced a finger along the riot of lotus wings and gilded arches, grinning as the swirling patterns shimmered into tiny dancing elephants and tigers. Bro, this isn't just a painting. It's a magical feast. Anyone hungry for a side of divine wisdom? Henricus the Heartmender, encouraged by the festive air, clasped his hands and intoned, "If compassion and color are the keys, perhaps a kind word and a borrowed snack will open the way." As the red door's golden studs began to glow, the mural's painted deity spoke in a voice like temple bells. To gain the oracle's audience, answer this. What is crafted by countless hands, yet belongs to all hearts? Prinapish, ever the courtier, beamed encouragement at SlumG and declared, "Let's answer together, friends. Every color, every kindness, woven into one." The mural's jeweled eyes sparkled with mischief. The doorway rippled, and a perfumed breeze swept the companions onward, deeper into the heart of the temple's enchanted maze. As the companions emerged from the temple's kaleidoscopic maze, they found themselves upon the mossy lanes of the Sickle and Hammer, where the very air shimmered with the calm after rain and the scent of spellbound cardamom. Two elder aunties barred the path, mid-chant in the ancient dialect of gossip, their saris gleaming with protective runes and towel capes billowing like battle standards. One, wielding a sacred steel tiffin, fixed Henricus with a knowing glance. "Halt, seekers! This road is guarded by the order of the neighborhood and the ancient rite of curd distribution," she declared, as the other auntie appraised Jean Baptin's portal staff with a raised brow. "What news do you bring from the festival of infinite pigeons? And have you paid your rain tax in kindness?" Before SlumG could answer, a yellow-green chariot of rickshaws zipped past, its driver tossing the party a wink and a garland of lucky mango leaves. Prinapish, ever the diplomat, bowed low. "Oh, wise aunties, we come bearing stories, smiles, and the last dry biscuit in our satchel. May we pass to seek the barking oracle?" The aunties exchanged a look, nodded approvingly, and with a wave of the tiffin, parted the enchanted banana trees, revealing a secret path cut through monsoon mist. The wall's crimson sigil flickered, the neighborhood's spellwork thrummed, and SlumG's crew pressed onward, hearts buoyed by auntie blessings, pockets slightly lighter, for the rain tax never truly vanished, and the echo of communal laughter guiding them ever closer to the oracle's lair. Beyond the moss-crowned lanes, the companions emerged atop the windward bluff, where the world seemed to pause in awe, a tempest-stained sky brooding above, the froth of enchanted waves gnawing at the jagged shore, and, cleaving the horizon, the fabled ship of infinite packages. She was a titanic vessel of myth and commerce, her hull tattooed with runes that spelled MSC Freya in 100 tongues, stacked with rainbow crates rumored to hold mysteries from every corner of elsewhere. As the mist curled about their ankles, Jean Baptin pointed with his portal staff, voice hushed with reverence. Their friends, the Ark of Parcels, keeper of lost boons and the barking oracle's last known haunt. Prinapish, eyes wide, pressed her palms together. Such majesty. It sails the confluence where trade winds and wild magic meet. Look, Nulin, do you feel the humming in your bones? Henricus the Heartmender shielded his gaze from the conjured lightning dancing above the cranes and whispered, "Even the palm trees bow before the ship's passing. If we are to board and seek the oracle's wisdom, We must brave the buffer storm and the bureaucrats of baggage. As if on cue, the air shimmered with spectral music, half temple hymn, half loading dock shanty, and a flock of message parrots swooped overhead, dropping scrolls marked "Rain Tax Due" and "Apply the Blessing Immediately." The companions, their resolve bolstered by Auntie blessings and side of biscuit courage, pressed onward, hearts thumping to the rhythm of distant drums and the promise of revelations stowed somewhere amid the endless, echoing hull. As the evening deepened to a sapphire hush, the companions stood spellbound before the Titan of Kashivur, Lord Shivavatar, whose colossal form commanded the bluff like a sentinel between worlds. Every ripple of his sculpted muscle glimmered with the memory of monsoon thunder, and the ornaments woven through his locks hummed with the river's secrets. For a fleeting moment, no mortal dared speak, until Jean Bapthin, ever the encourager of portals, stepped forth and raised his staff in salute. O Lord of thresholds and infinite drum solos, we humbly seek the barking oracle and passage upon the ship of infinite packages, Jean declared, voice quivering with reverence and just a hint of selfie ambition. The air shifted. The serpent about Shivavatar's neck hissed softly, and the crescent moon upon his brow shimmered, casting ripples of silver across the gathering mist. Prinapish, her eyes wide with awe, pressed her palms together and whispered, "Such artistry! Surely kindness and courage are carved here, too." Just then, the drumming hand of Shivavatar twitched. Thunder pulsed across the bluff, and the statue's lips seemed to curl in an enigmatic smile. From the trident's tip, a single drop of enchanted rain fell, landing in Jean's outstretched palm and transforming into a glimmering key, cold as moonlight. Nullin of the applauded veil, ever attentive, marked the moment with a reverent nod and scribbled a blessing in the book of celebrant scribes. The oracle awaits, Prina breathed as the clouds parted to reveal in the distance the spectral outline of the fabled ship. And so, with the blessing of the Storm Lord and the courage of chosen fools, the seekers pressed onward, hearts pounding to the silent beat of the cosmic drum. Twilight's breath lingered over the tiled expanse of the Storm Lord, where the plaza's obsidian stones gleamed like enchanted chessboards, and the colossus of Shivavatar reigned, wreathed in cloudlit glory, trident humming with threads of crescent fire. Pilgrims robed in silken dhotis and sari-bright banners drifted through the plaza like reverent sprites, pausing to murmur blessings or offer marigolds to the statue's many-armed shadow. Jean Bapthin, ever the encourager, beckoned the party closer, his staff glinting with runes as he whispered, "Bask in the blessing, seekers. Each footfall here echoes in elsewhere." At the statue's foot, Henricus the Heartmender knelt, tracing a mosaic lotus with gentle fingers. "All who gather in the liminal court are kin tonight," he declared, gifting a hopeful smile to a barefoot child who had lost her sandal to a cheeky wind sprite. Meanwhile, Nullin of the applauded veil danced quietly on the plaza's edge, his cloak flickering with chameleon applause as he recorded every moment for the book of celebrant scribes. Overhead, palm fronds rustled with the laughter of invisible jinn, and the sea's song pressed close, a lullaby for would-be heroes. As dusk shimmered, candlelight flickered in curious patterns upon every brow, and from the hidden temple alcove, bells chimed thrice, an omen, or perhaps a portal, swinging open with a hush that stilled even the crows. "Tonight," Jean breathed, eyes wide as the first to star. The oracle's wisdom finds us, if we are brave enough to ask, gentle enough to listen, and quick enough to dodge the Auntie's sacred towel. Beneath the velvet twilight, the seekers found themselves at the legendary Viewpoint of Hearts, where the enchanted sigil Ayajamala pulsed with otherworldly light, casting gentle auras across the gleaming silver chariot of mundane travels, which Jean Baptiste insisted was definitely not just an ordinary parked car, but a vessel enchanted to whisk heroes between worlds. The air was thick with the perfume of monsoon damp palms, and the waves below battered the obsidian cliffs with such drama it seemed the sea itself demanded an audience. Henricus the Heartmender drew a deep, contented breath, his eyes reflecting the sign's glow as he murmured, "Here, where night and hope entwine, every heart's true wish can be heard by the oracle, if we listen." Nullen of the applauded Vale, ever the celebrant, circled the group with a flurry of silvered ribbons, inscribing their courage into the air. Let this moment be written in the scribe's book, a pause before the storm, a hush before the truth. As the companions stepped towards the glowing threshold, Prinapish caught a falling frangipani blossom and tucked it behind SlumG's ear, teasing, "A hero needs both courage and a bit of charm for the oracle's test." Just then, the illuminated sign flickered thrice, answering the promise of dusk, and a shimmering path unfurled towards the cliff's edge, beckoning the seekers onward, their laughter and hopes mingling with the sea wind, ready to find the barking oracle upon the ship of infinite packages. For the fate of Elsewhere lay balanced on the edge of a monsoon-lit wish. The chariot of mundane travels, known in Elsewhere as the rickshaw of 1,000 routes, hurtled through the night, its frame shimmering with residual portal magic, and its ancient fare meter ticking like the heartbeat of some long-slumbering golem. Jean Baptiste gripped the enchanted frame, knuckles glowing faintly with the courage of borrowed blessings, while Nullen of the applauded Vale scribbled notes into his ever-expanding scroll, trying to catch the flickering rune lights reflected from the passing spell lamps. The driver, clad in the ceremonial blue of the night roadmaster, hummed a tune said to confuse lesser phantoms and kept one eye on the spectral traffic weaving between realms. Each blur of headlights outside, another memory, another possible adventure. "Let not the fishes of fate find us before dawn," Jean murmured, glancing at Henricus the Heartmender, whose steady hand on the coin-worn frame radiated hope like a lantern in fog. "Every road in Kajivor leads both home and elsewhere tonight," Henricus replied, offering a biscuit to the shadowy outline of the barking oracle curled at his feet. "But only those with open hearts and exact fare may reach the wisdom we seek." Prinapish clapped softly as the rickshaw swept past a bustling bazaar, her laughter mingling with the jangle of distant cowbells and the applause of unseen chat pixies swirling overhead. Proof that even on the edge of two worlds, with storm and prophecy at their heels, the seekers carried both the pulse of the city and the promise of elsewhere with every rumbling turn. Beneath the honeyed glow of the oracle lamps, where the patterned stones gleamed with the after tears of monsoon, SlumG knelt at the very edge of elsewhere, and Mundania, his palm open in welcome to the barking oracle, a black and white hound whose fur shimmered faintly with celestial glyphs. The dog settled at his feet, gaze as deep and serene as the night sea, as if weighing SlumG's soul and finding it, miraculously, scented with palgi crumbs and hope. "Gentle paws, gentle heart," murmured Henricus the Heartmender, kneeling beside SlumG to offer the oracle a careful scratch behind the ears, while Jean Bapthin hovered nearby, staff aglow, whispering, "Remember, Seekers, kindness is the oldest portal key." Vashon Ketchum, barely able to contain his delight, fished a plain biscuit from his pouch and presented it like a holy relic. "O barking oracle, wisest of the night parade, will you grant us the view of truth if we master patting, paw, and biscuit ritual?" The oracle cocked its head, raised a solemn paw to SlumG's hand, and, as the streetlight caught the gold in its eyes, a hush fell over the plaza. A hush broken only by Prenapetia's soft applause and the far-off lullaby of the tide. In that enchanted, rain-warmed silence, SlumG felt the membrane between worlds thin, the magic pulse in his fingertips, and understood at last, sometimes the truest wisdom is won not by riddles or quests, but by a gentle touch shared on a damp evening, between a wayfarer and a four-legged sage beneath the watchful gaze of the yellow-black railings of Kajivur.